All right, what's going on, everybody? So UFC 309 just finished, and I had some viewing issues. I'll get to that in a second, but I was able to see the last two fights. Yeah, it was really that bad. But I'm gonna talk about the last two fights and briefly talk about the Bo Nickel fight because I also predicted that one. Real quick before I get into the video, 96% of you guys aren't subscribed. So if you like UFC, boxing, or influencer boxing content, I post 3 to 4 times a week on this channel. So make sure you subscribe for more content. I appreciate it. So, unfortunately, to open up the card, to keep it vague, my viewing experience wasn't working. So, there was that early on. I think the stream's working now. You can't script that shit. Like, come fucking on. It did not just fucking lag when I said that. Which it's like that sometimes, but this had to be the worst I've ever seen. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen that Bo Nickel won. I was not able to see any of the fight, unfortunately, but I got that one right, so I'm 1-0 on my predictions. Bo Nickel is now 7-0 against somebody tough with Paul Craig. Not sure how the fight went, unfortunately. God, this video sounds so... Like, it seems so pointless, but I'm not gonna not make a video. So Bo Nickel is 7-0. Let me know who could be next in the comments for him down below. Paul Craig was supposed to be a tough fight for him, even though I didn't get to see it. It still proved something, so I guess. At least I got to see the last two fights. So, all right, so the next fight, Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler. Now, this went almost exactly how I expected. Charles was dominating the fight the whole time. Michael Chandler had good submission defense, but besides that, he was getting dominated on the ground, standing up. There was moments by Michael Chandler and one in the very last round where he rocked Charles, and it seemed like he was going to finish him with a TKO, but Charles stayed in it. Charles is an absolute dog. But besides that one moment, Chandler really got beat up. And yeah, that's what I called. I didn't think this was a good matchup for Chandler. I know the first fight was pretty close, but this time it was not. Besides that one moment by Chandler, it was not close. Charles with a dominant victory. I would love to see him take another shot at Islam. That'll be a cool fight. Charles looked really good in this fight. He had really good straight kicks to the body, very good straight punches. He was very accurate. He barely even missed any shots on Chandler. He had good range. He made Chandler miss a couple times with his wild shots. Chandler really tried to be calm at the beginning of the fight, but really wasn't doing any favors for him. So yeah, I nailed this one right on the head. Charles with a dominant victory over Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler had a really confident call out to Conor McGregor after the loss, which was interesting. I haven't even seen what Conor said about that yet. I can't wait to see that. He probably went off, but who even knows if Conor's going to get back in the ring, man. I wouldn't have too much confidence in that Chandler. And to be honest, with how Chandler blitzes in, I probably favor Conor catching him. I'm not going to lie. I think Chandler's a good matchup for Conor. All right, now the main event, Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic. Now, just so I don't seem like I'm hating, I'm going to start things off by saying what Jon did really well in this fight before I get to the negatives of this fight. Jon Jones looked really good on the ground like usual. He had very vicious ground and pound. I'm actually surprised he didn't use the 12-6 elbow at all since it got legalized for him. Or not really, I guess not necessarily for him, but whatever. I'm surprised he didn't do it once, to be honest. He had some opportunities to. He's probably so used to not using it now that he didn't even think about it. But he had some vicious ground and pound in round one. The finish with the body kick was a nasty kick to the body, like that shit definitely hurt. So, like, you could tell Stipe was not getting up after that kick. He probably broke a rib or something. It was a very well-placed kick by Jon. He had pretty good head movement. And there was a very hard straight right hand. Probably the first time I seen Jon rock somebody with a straight right hand. So, yeah, I think his boxing probably looked a bit better, I would say, in this fight. I will say that about Jon. Now, let's bring it back to a reality a little bit, because it was a good win, but listen, if we have some Jon Jones fans that are watching at this point in the video, I want you to be honest with yourself and ask yourself if Stipe looked good in that fight. Like, it was a good performance, but Stipe looked really bad, dude. Like, I was saying how he didn't deserve a title shot before, but he was worse than I thought he was gonna be. Um, he really didn't look like he wanted to commit to anything in this fight. His wrestling was not good. Um, he was tough. He thugged it out after the first round, but after the first round, he was not trying to throw with any intent. I think there was a couple times where he threw with intent, but it was very rare. And he really was just like a punching bag in there. Like he was really slow. Did Jon's boxing look a bit better because how Stipe was fighting? Maybe after Jon landed a good jab, Stipe smiled at him, and then that's when Jon landed straight right hand. Just like a lack of focus from Stipe, like thinking shit was sweet with Jon. He's never gonna let shit be sweet in there. But yeah, man, Stipe did not look good in there. I'm glad that Jon's not retiring, he said, but something very interesting about his post-fight interview that I gotta talk about. So, in the post-fight interview, Joe Rogan basically sets him up for a layup to call out Tom Aspinall, and he just couldn't straight up say it. He just couldn't do it. Dana has come out and basically laid the hammer down that if Jon's fighting again, it's gonna be Tom Aspinall, and that's it. And you know what Jon Jones said? Me and Dana and Hunter have some negotiating to do. Now, I wonder what negotiating he wants to do. And I remember one of my boys, Lucas, that I'm gonna be starting the podcast with, said that, well, he said he wants to do negotiating with Dana, and he said he might give what the fans want to see. He was vague for a reason, dude. He didn't say a certain name for a reason. He's gonna say the fans want Alex Pereira. And that's the negotiating that he's gonna want to do. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a body language expert, but I can't help but realize as soon as he got the the topic got brought up, he instantly went like this. And he started stuttering over his words. It's like I taught me and Dana got negotiated. Like, bro, dude, just do it, bro. Like, all right, can I be listen, I'm not saying it's 100% certain that Tom Aspinall would beat Jon Jones. Like, Jon Jones could beat him. Yes, I'm not going to 100% count him out. But, bro, the way Jon has striking defense, yeah, he has good head movement at times. But sometimes he just puts his hands out and backs up and uses his range. That's not going to work against Tom, dude. He's going to blitz right in between and land on your chin. Stipe even landed on him a couple times. And Stipe looked horrible. I think Tom Aspinall still knocks out Jon Jones. I think he'll be able to stuff takedowns from Jon and force him to stand up. Maybe he could take him down, and that could be the fight, but Tom might also be able to get up. So I still want to see that fight. It's actually interesting. Yes, I think Tom wins, but there's still a chance for Jon. So it's not like, oh, so you didn't want to see Jon versus Stipe because it's not close, but you think that Aspinall for Jon isn't close, but you want to see that. No, I think it could be close, but I do think Tom would win, and I think Jon thinks that too, so he's not going to do it. So this was the weekend of old man abuse. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the event down below. Let me know about what I missed. I'm sure I'll see it on social media. Let me know what you guys thought about the overall card. I'm sorry I couldn't provide everything about it. I wish I could have, though. It's really frustrating, but hopefully my setup is better next time. Thank you guys for listening to me yap like usual. Make sure you guys subscribe, turn on that bell, and like the video. I'm tired, bro. I got to get out of here. Thank you guys for listening to me yap like usual. Excuse me. Peace out.